Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, May 11th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. I'm also on Instagram under spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. I'm on Facebook under the business page Lisa M. Hopp, spiritual coach and medium. Today's topic, and forgive me, for those of you who listen every week, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. I say it every week. I do mean it. I'm genuine in that. And I do appreciate when you email me with topic suggestions. And anyone who listens, who wants to provide or suggest a topic suggestion, please feel free to email me at serenityharbor@verizon.net. So on to today's topic, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Whether you are a birth mother, a godmother, an adopted mother, a foster mother, a mother to society, through your work, through who you are, because there are various ways of mothers. There's various ways to get it done, right? And there's always this larger picture going on too when it comes to motherhood, meaning some of you are mothers through your work, through your legacy, but perhaps they're not birth mothers. And why I wanted to talk about Mother's Day today and the topic, which you probably saw before you clicked, the common signs from our mothers, grandmothers, departed females in heaven, especially around this Mother's Day, the common signs, because it is such a painful loss for so many. It's a painful day for those who have lost their mothers or mother figures. It's a painful day for those who aren't mothers. It's a painful day for those who are mothers but are separated from your children right now for some reason. Maybe they are not with you today. Maybe they're not talking to you. So the pain can be very raw, can be very deep. And I just want to, at this moment, just send out prayers and thoughts to you. The hardest, most unimaginable loss is a mother who's lost her child that was born. And I know that I have listeners that have had that. It's indescribable loss. It is a loss that no one can truly help you with. It goes beyond words. It is the loss that you can only say, I'm here, because you cannot understand unless you've gone through it. You cannot. It is the indescribable, unimaginable, it is greatest burden. And when you have a loss of a child, and I am not saying that those who have lost children through miscarriages or stillborns or even abortions, by the way, that is a painful loss too. But it is not the same. It is not the same. But it is painful too. Yes. And then to the loss of your own mother. And it doesn't matter if you got along. It doesn't matter if you were close, if you were talking at the end. It doesn't matter. It's a loss. It's a deep loss, especially for a woman, because your mother, no matter what your relationship or lack of relationship, your biological mother really is your greatest role model. It defines who you are. And so the separation is felt. It is felt even if you have a wonderful adopted family, because it goes to your core. It goes to your fabric of, if you're adopted, what What was she like? Why was I adopted if I know? And of course, you wouldn't feel this unless you knew that you were. Who am I? Am I enough? Well, the answer is you are more than enough. But it does define us. It does cause us to ask these questions. It's such a powerful relationship. And for a son, I know sons who have lost their mothers and they grieve years later in a deep raw grief that can equal a woman losing her mother. And again, when people go through any loss, especially these ones that rip us apart, all you can do for that person, you cannot say I understand. You cannot throw words. You have to watch your words that you throw. Even if you mean well, and most of us have very good intentions. We really do. But words sometimes they don't get there. They can't get there to being comforting to that person. I think the strongest thing to say, the best thing to say is, I don't know what to say. I don't have the words. But I'll listen if you need to talk. Now, to say I'm at a loss is probably a great gift. It's probably the greatest gift. I'm at a loss to say, of what to do. I don't know. But I feel, I'm looking into your eyes, or I'm talking to you on the phone, and I care. And that's the thing, that the genuine care. That's the way to go. Know that. And that matters. It does matter to the person who has had this grave loss. Who cares? And that some do. That people do care. So keep that in mind. And it's okay not to be perfect in your words. It's okay to say, I don't know what to do, or say right now, what do you need? They may, and by the way, they may not know what they need. But to be there in any way is helpful. So here's the wonderful thing, and it can be very hard today and on days when we are coping with the unimaginable or grave loss. Today is Mother's Day, and those who have lost mothers may look for the presence of their mother around them, and they're there. They were around last week. They were around the week before that because they knew what was coming. We have to make sure that we are in the present moment. And by the way, this also pertains to those who were like a mother to you, because some of us were raised by our grandmothers, or by an aunt, or by someone, or been mentored by someone that was like a mother figure in our adult life. And so it doesn't just apply to biological mother or adopted mother. On this Mother's Day, they are with you, but we have to be in the present moment in order to perceive them. The present moment is just focusing on what you're doing in the present moment, and not being scattered, not thinking about yesterday or the past, not thinking about what you have to do in a moment, but being right there. Because you're right there in the present moment. When you're connected to heaven at that moment, or their energy, because their energy is literally right around you. Heaven is right around you. That is why we can access it through meditation. You can call it quantum energy, source. You can call it heaven. You can call it space. You can call it higher consciousness. Whatever you want to call it, that is heaven. That is where they are. And it's literally a moment away for all of us. You may hear every once in a while me moving in the chair. That's the chair. Sorry. I'm a little mobile today. So anyway, here are some common signs in that present moment that you might notice coming to you from those mother figures. And if your mother's on earth, it could be a grandmother that's with you today, or a child that you've lost, of course, but also a child that maybe you didn't even know you lost or didn't have. We are taken care of. And sometimes we don't know that we could have been mother to more than one child or more children than we have on earth. And those souls are a blessing to us, and they are around us too. But back to the common signs from the mother figures. The first one is just feeling their presence. When you think of them out of nowhere, that's them. When you feel someone is standing behind you or very close by you, and you want to turn around or you want to look to the side and look, you just felt the presence of those in spirit. And let's again talk about turning the head. Your corners of each eye are what I call your mediumship eyes. And every single human on earth has done this. I actually had someone say to me, they don't do it. I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's okay. You know, it's okay. You'll catch yourself. We all see our loved ones, and we turn to look with our third eye, or with our, not with our third eye, but with our naked eyes, with our two eyes. And then our third eye is closed, so we don't see them, and we think, oh, I just imagined something, or, oh, nothing's there. And sometimes we don't even think of it consciously. We just do it. And then we turn and we're like, oh, okay. And then we keep going. But you just saw someone. What I do sometimes at home is that I linger when I want to rest my third eye, because it can get achy. When I want to linger on someone to figure out, is it male, is it female? And I have to say to you that a lot of time I don't notice, or I don't know who I see. I have older family members than me that I didn't get to know, that I wouldn't recognize. And so I linger, okay, it's a guy. And it also could be, to be fair, a family member of someone else you live with too, or a departed loved one. Excuse me. I had a little cough come on. It also could be, if you live in a home that was owned before, or an apartment or condo, the previous owner. Or perhaps someone who lived on the land before the home was even there. And so it's not always your departed loved one that you're seeing. But what I do is I'll linger. Okay, man, woman. Hello? Do you want to communicate or not? But I don't try to always use my intuitive abilities to discern who is it standing there, because I like to rest. I need to rest. Those who work in spiritual work drain more. They drain more, honestly, than most people on earth who do not use, who aren't in spiritual work. Okay? And so when I'm at home, I try to rest it. But I will linger if I see someone standing at the top of the stairs, or with that corner. Because the corners are always open, except, of course, when you're sleeping. But when you're awake, they're always open. They're always perceiving who is next to you, who has walked next to you, who has come to stand next to you. And Every single one of us on earth has at least one departed loved one with us at all times. And sometimes the one you most want to be with you is going to be with somebody else. If you have lost a mother, they may be with another sibling. They may be with a friend who's still on earth. They may be with a sibling who's still on earth, or someone else that they want to help. So they're not always with you 24 hours a day or every sleeping moment. But, yes, who you primarily think would be with you, yes. And so, presence is very important. Acknowledge it. If you know they're there, just say hello. Thank you for being here. It's all right to talk to them in a healthy way. It is not all right to be codependent, because that's not healthy. But it is all right to include them in your lives, to celebrate them, to throw up to them when you miss them, to ask them to show you a sign, to ask them to answer. If you have a question for them, throw the question out and then say, answer me in some way. A sign is always a yes, or everything's all right, I'm with you. All right? Always. It's not negative when you get a sign, even if it precedes a loss or something that upsets you. All right. Second sign, dreams. Generally speaking, whenever we dream of our departed loved ones, it is them. Unless you can tell that your conscious mind is reviewing something about them. But honestly, 99.9% of the time when they're in your dreams, it's really them. It is them having a visitation, even if they don't talk. Even if they say something that you can't understand fully, because sometimes the veil can distort their message. And don't worry about that. If you need to know something, they're going to get it into you. They're going to get it into your subconscious, and you will act on it. Heaven is in charge. They know what they're doing, right? So you're not letting them down if you don't understand if their mouth is moving, but you don't hear them. You are hearing them at a subconscious level. I've had dreams of departed loved ones before I moved on my work because of a dream from a departed loved one. And so I'm still very grateful to that, because it was someone I wasn't close to in life. But yeah, and that's what they knew what to do. Send that person, because that made me move when they showed up. If it had been someone closer to me, if it had been Archangel Michael, I would have stalled. But no, that one got me. And so know that when you think it's them in a dream, you are correct, especially if it's lucid, because it means that it's a bridge between the two of you. It is a true interaction. Third thing, and women love this sign. Men can use it too, but women love the wings. The cardinals, the white butterflies, sometimes ladybugs, sometimes robins. But most of the time, they're going to use what I call the pretty birds, right? And maybe small hummingbirds too. Smaller birds, sparrows, they can use as well. Dragonflies. Whatever is acting odd around you or staring at you, that's a sign from heaven. It means I'm free, I'm in heaven, and I'm also with you. Men tend to get the hawks, perhaps robins too. Crows, ravens. It's darker, I call them the more masculine birds. Women love the feminine. They can also send you the small flowers, or have flowers grow out of season in a weird way on an anniversary date. Something to that effect, or just their perfume walks around you, or their smell, right? Their essence will walk around you. And I want to talk about smell because it just happened to me the other day, and it can be a woman. I was in a room in my home, the laundry room area, and a cigarette smoke was moving in the room. I smelled it in one corner, and as I was leaving the room, I walked into it in a completely different location. And nobody in my home smokes, and it was late at night, and there was no human reason for it. There was no way that it was in spirit. So it may walk by you and then it disappears, come up on your nose and then it disappears. That is someone in spirit, being what I call their essence. That's who they were. That's what they did on earth. And so that will make them recognizable. Now, you may be like me, where there's a lot of people in the past that smoked. And so sometimes I don't know who it is. So what I say is, thank you for being here. Right? And sometimes we don't even know sometimes people smoked, we didn't even know they smoked. So it could be someone you're not even thinking about. But thank them for being there. Take the comfort, take the support, because that's why they're around. That's what it's all about. Another sign. So we have the presence, we have the wings, and we have the smell. And yes, it can be perfume. It can be of their home, the smell. I have a paternal grandmother that her home smelled a certain way. And one time since she's passed, I smelled that smell. I have no idea what smell that is, like what label to put on it. Was it hairspray? Was it what she washed in? I don't know. All I know is it was her. It's recognizable, but unrecognizable sometimes at the same time. So on to, and dreams. I think I brought that up too as well. I mean, I'm summarizing again. Another common sign that can be used by women, mothers, are the coins. In my work, men tend to give that sign more than women, but women can use the coins. I do not personally get this sign from a female departed loved one, but it has been known that women can drop the dimes or drop the pennies. In my own family, the silver. So here's coins. Here's how you know. You can't explain it. You know you didn't drop it. They're shiny. They're not going to be dirty outside the store. They're not going, yes, sometimes people drop coins on a sidewalk. It has to be where there's no way that it got there unless through supernatural means. And so perhaps for me, for instance, one time I got a penny in the middle of a king-size bed when I was away. And I had asked for a coin that day. I had asked for a coin from heaven. And I was sleeping in the king-size bed, but I sleep on the side because I'm a little shorter. I don't crawl in the middle. So there was no way for me to put that coin where it was. And I knew it. Plus, it appeared after I'd been gone for the day. So sometimes they're piled up. I saw one time pennies trailed in a restaurant on the floor and appeared out of nowhere. So it has to appear out of nowhere. You know, you didn't drop it out of your pocket or drop it out of your bag, your pocketbook. It had to be, how did that appear? And it's also been known that when you visit them at the cemetery, if they're a mother or grandmother or female mother figure that leaves you coins, that you might find them at their grave marker. And so keep it in mind, it has to be unexplainable. You can't, now, you can't logically explain it. Don't try to logically explain it, right? If you can't logically explain it, accept it, because they love when you know they're there. Another common one, and the paternal grandmother I spoke of uses this one, and you all have gotten this. And she's not, I don't know that she's the only one, but I know that she's done it before, because it happened when I wished her a happy birthday one year. The light turned on in front of me. Electricity, things plugged in, things battery operated that don't have batteries or acting weird with batteries. Okay, and now they're using smoke alarms. I guess the 10-year battery is a little bit more able to be manipulated or something. I had it happen to me last week. It is not pleasant because it's loud and it scares you. And so I'm not complaining about it necessarily, but, well, it's definitely raising the volume, okay? And it has to be, again, unexplainable. Is a light brightening or flickering, but there's been no surge? Does the TV gone static and you don't understand why? Is your cell phone flashing you a weird message on its screen? Or making noises it normally doesn't make in a timely manner? What happens is, I call the ET finger. Our loved ones in spirit have transitioned out of their physical bodies and they're now pure energy. We're all energy in a physical body. But now we are pure energy, and pure energy can help us to know they're there by connecting into energy. And a light socket has energy. Something that needs a battery has energy. Ink has energy too, by the way, back to coins. Can also be bills that move around a lot. So anything with energy, they can transport into you or act up, right? And so I had one time, I visited a loved one at the cemetery, and it was their birthday. And when I came home, everything was acting up in my home, even the cable, which is tied to my phone. And it was fine after that. It was a moment. And it actually alarmed another loved one on Earth. They were like, is everything okay? Because they were trying to reach me and they couldn't. And I didn't say anything. I just knew it was an extra hello. So they can use it. Women can use it. It's not, primarily with women. Men use it too. But if you think it's them, if something's acting odd around you, it's them. I think sometimes we throw out that sign because we think, oh, there must be an explanation for it. Maybe, there is a fire in the house somewhere, or maybe smoke somehow drifted into that particular location of that one smoke alarm, right? But if you can't explain it, again, it's heaven. If logically you don't know, if it can't be explained, it's heaven. When the smoke alarm went off last week, there was no explanation for it. Everything in the house was fine. Every other detector was fine. We weren't cooking. So, which is generally, by the way, when I cook, I bring a smoke alarm down so it doesn't go off. Nothing like that was happening. I was watching a baseball game at 4:00 in the afternoon. So it's very important to be discerning about their presence, because they want you to know they're there. They want you to know that they're making sure that you're all right. Let me make sure about any other common sign. Oh, some of you, it's not a common sign among departed loved ones. It's more in my experience with angels, but yes, you can get white feathers if you've requested them. Again, though, not specifically to women. Women tend to, again, going to use, as I call it, the more female signs. It's why they're so predominant with the wings, and with the floral smell, and with presence, touching your hair, by the way. Again, feeling that presence, being lightly touched, not having an explanation for it, is they're comforting you. I often get my hair stroked or just energy. It's like a comforting kind of energy around my head. That would be heaven. And it's going to be probably a woman. Men tend not to want to give you comfort like that. It's more going to be a female departed loved one. Okay. Now, of course, also there are some other signs that our loved ones can use, such as license plates in front of you, bumper stickers in front of you. Angels use that too, by the way. Trying to think what else as I sit with you. But I really feel I covered the common ones, the ones that really all of us get in some way. And then there's the unique ones that we all can get. Music, but that will also be tied into electronics, to the lights. They can. I've had female departed loved ones plop a song in my head. But again, that goes more to both sexes and also to your angels. When I've asked a question of the angels or my spirit guides, I'll get an answer in my head. And sometimes it's the lyrics of a song. And I'll start singing it. I'll tell you, it's always a song I don't like, which is why I know it's not me. And then I'm singing it because it's in my head. And then I'm annoyed, but I'm grateful at the same time because I got the answer. And it's always instant. Like right after I asked the question, it's instant. It's not, there's no delay to it. But do know as well that you do, because I've inserted here, you all have guardian angels. And guardian angels also speak to you. They're not only in charge of protecting you, but they're guides too. And then you have spirit guides that may answer you to specialties, such as your career, your relationships, your health, joy, happiness. So we have an entourage. We really do have an entourage. And I've probably said this to you during this podcast. You're never left alone for a moment. And what I do love is that there's always at least a person with you. But they also can watch more than one person at a time. I've caught them, what I call it, landscaping us. It's like they have to be at a distance, but they can watch more than one person at a time. But they just can't stand next to you and be next to another person at the same time who is not in the room with you. Now, archangels can do that. Higher angels can do that because they're unlimited more. But the human soul has that limitation where they can watch you and watch another at the same time on earth. And know how you feel and know what you're thinking and know what you intended and know who you truly are. But cannot be right next to you again and next to someone else at the same time. And I want to restate that to you. Yes, you're an open book to heaven. You are a radio signal. They do feel you. They do hear you in every way. But unlike Earth, they're really not judging you. They know you. They know you like they never did. And if they didn't know you, they know you now. And they love you more. And if they didn't know you, if you didn't know them, they love you because they're an insider, because they feel you, they get attached to you. So the attachment grows. But don't worry about, even if you have a moment where you're angry with them, they understand. They have all the info. They know who you truly are. They know the goodness that you are. They know what you're trying to do. They know they know your purity. And they focus on that purity. They don't focus on your screw-ups, right? They don't focus on the lower energies we all can feel. So please know that, right? They're not invasive. They're serving you because they love you, because they want to, because the heart lives on and it grows. The emotional heart lives on. They understand. They have all the info. They know what you were feeling when they passed. They know what you really needed from them. They know why. They have all the whys. And that, take comfort from. Take knowing from. Take help from. Because the mysteries are solved. And that's very important to keep in mind as we go through this life. That we have that support. That we have that love. That we have that service. And it's unconditional. It truly is. Thank you. Oh, and one last thing I want to tell you, in case you don't know. We all get visitors when we're sleeping. They try to get us when we're sleeping, but sometimes we catch them when we're not quite asleep. And most of us sleep at night, so they're visiting us at night at different hours. Again, if you feel like they're there, if you feel their presence, they are. Thank you so much for joining me today, to all the mothers in every way, whether it is vocational, whether it is natural, whether it is choice through another way. Happy Mother's Day. And I wish all of you the best. And to the fathers that have had to take on that role of mother more. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you to all of you for listening. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. If you enjoyed this podcast and on all the other platforms, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish you all the best. Until next time, take care.